My name is Guido Hoogenboom. Today is the 15th of February in the year 2009. I'm in the Hilton Hotel where we have the Conscious Life Expo. And my guest is Zecharia Sitchin, a world-renowned teacher and lecturer, scientist and foremost authority on the Sumerian clay tablets. 9 years ago, we met each other in Amsterdam at the UFO Congress, and it was really a pleasure. And now we see each other again, and I would like to ask you about your book, The End of Days, which you wrote in the year 2008. And then the expression, the end of days, you find it also in the Bible. So maybe most people know this also from this source of information.
Well, it's not also from the Bible. It's only from the Bible, where the Hebrew term is Acharit Hayamim, and it's translated, I prefer the translation end of days. In other biblical translations, even in English, it is the last days, the final days, but it really deals with what nowadays people interested in what's about to happen are interested in the so-called end days, as if the days, the calendar, the era is due to come to an end, so what will happen then? This is what the term means, the end of days.
And does that also mean that something will happen with time?
Well, time is something difficult to define, if you know. I wrote a book titled about it, what time is, but it's some kind of an expectation, which, as far as I'm concerned, is based on biblical prophecies, mostly the Old Testament, but also the New Testament, which say that a time will come when things will happen, very important things that will affect mankind and our planet.
Yes. Now, what I learned as a child from the Bible was that the end of days meant a total destruction of the earth. Is that something which you relate to?
No, if your teacher taught you that, then you had the wrong teacher.
Supposedly. Now, if you would like to characterize the essence of your book and the conclusions, what would that be? What kind of conclusions would you say?
Well, the book, which is titled The End of Days, and is available not only in English, is available in many languages by now, though not in Dutch yet, has a subtitle. And sometimes the subtitle is more revealing than the title. And the subtitle is Armageddon and Prophecies of the Return. So this is really what my book, that starts from way back, reviews history, reviews events, reviews the reasons for the prophecies, deals with is Armageddon and Prophecies of the Return.
Yes. Now, in your book, you write that in the year 2024, before BC, that something happened then also like a calamity in connection with Duke.
For the first time, nuclear weapons were used on Earth. For the first time in 2024 BC, not at Hiroshima, but in the Sinai Peninsula.
Yes. So now, what happened then, and there's one thing which I remember, which I read in your book, that Marduk was talking also about, in those days, about the loving female energy which appeared then also in those days. Do we see something like this right now too, that the female energy is increasing on this planet?
Female?
The female, yes.
That's not in my book.
No, what I was reading was motherly love. What Maduk said, that was manifesting.
He never said that.
Oh.
You're mixing it with some other books. There are plenty of books that flourish from my writings, and not necessarily always correct. So I'd rather stick with what I said.
All right. Yes, I thought I was reading that, but it doesn't matter.
No.
Now, the end of days, the year 2012 and 13. This is in accordance also with the Sumerian clay tablets and maybe also with the Maya calendar.
No, this is supposedly the 2012 is supposedly an end date based on the Mayan calendar, which will be the subject of my presentations here at the Conscious Life Expo, and also in my book, The End of Days. It is not that such a date does not appear in the biblical prophecies, and certainly does not appear in the Sumerian clay tablets.
It does not. Now, what I would like to ask you, Nibiru, the 10th planet, is it moving away from the Earth and the Sun, or is it coming towards us?
Coming towards us.
Coming towards us. What does that cause on our planet?
Well, when it is eventually, and I deal with the dates in my book, The End of Days, when eventually it will be near us, near Earth, at its apogee, perigee, it'll have all kinds of effects. At one time, it caused the deluge, the Great Flood. So it may have a definite phenomena involved in its appearance. But more important for us today, for the present generation, is the return, not of the planet, but of the gods, the ancient gods. Yes, this is a more closer event to be anticipated.
Now, in the year 2008, the Pope, he said that he believed that in other parts of the universe also there were civilizations, alien civilizations. Can you comment on this, please?
Yes, well, first of all, I had a public in front of almost 1,000 people. I had a dialogue with the Vatican spokesman on the subject, Monsignor Balducci,
yes,
who passed away, by the way, a year or two ago, about it. And he was a fan of mine. He read all my books. He saw no problem for the Vatican in what I'm saying. Indeed, he said for the Vatican, for Christians, to deny the possibility that the same universal God created intelligent life not only on a tiny speck of dust that we call Earth, but elsewhere as well. To say that's not possible, that means to deny the omnipotence of God. So theologically, he said, the possibility of intelligent life at whatever stage of development is not ruled out at all, and therefore he quite agreed with what I wrote. And then had meetings in the Vatican. I describe all that in one of my books titled Journeys to the Mythical Past, which again is translated into many European languages, but though not in Holland. So the Vatican's attitude is almost positive, but certainly not negative.
So can we say that maybe by what the Pope said that this could mean there will be a breakthrough?
Well, I'm not a spokesman for the Vatican,
No.
but my opinion is that yes, the answer to your question is yes.
Now, since Corrado Balducci is not alive anymore, are you in touch with other people of the Vatican?
Indirectly, yes.
Indirectly, yes. My last question is, will the Anunnaki be here, or second last question, will the Anunnaki be here in the year 2012-13?
No.
No. Then the real last question, if a major movie maker like Steven Spielberg would like to make a feature movie on the Anunnaki, would you approve of this, and would you be maybe willing to consult him on the subject? And like we have seen in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I think from '77, there Jacques Vallée, he was portrayed in this movie as the professor, expert on UFOs. Could you see yourself to fulfill such a role in there as a character in such a movie?
Are you authorized by Spielberg to ask the question?
Yes, I will ask you, Spielberg, the question, but first I would like to know your reaction to this.
Yeah, he is aware of my writings, and let's leave it at that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
The interview, and hope to see you
my best
again.
wishes to all your viewers. Holland is a wonderful place, and I have nice memories from our interview.
Thank you very much for having been with us here, and I hope to see you in the future.